Everybody, I'm here for my weekly wrap-up and my Friday reads. Today is October 30th, 2015. And I'm going to start with the books that I've read to my son. I read him books every night before bed. And then me and my daughter read the same books at different times. And we haven't really been doing that much lately because she's just now starting to get back into reading. So anyways, my son and I started this last week, and it was Night of the Living Dummy by R.L. Stine from Goosebumps. He's on a Goosebumps kick. He's even watching the show every night now, and he's hoping to go and see the movie on tomorrow with his dad. I can't handle theaters. I suffer from migraines, but anyways. This one is about a dummy, two dummies actually. A set of twins find a dummy in the construction site dumpster next door. And then one of the twins gets jealous because the other one has picked it up and really likes it. And she wants one too. So then they find a note in the pocket of the second dummy. And they read it out loud. And the dummy comes to life. And that's it. Well, no, that's not it, but that's about as far as I'm going to say about that one. And then what I was reading last week was Fear by R.L. Stine. It's a collection of 13 short stories. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Or not bad. They're not scary, spooky. They're just stories. Some of the authors I'm actually looking into reading more from them. I like their style of writing. That's all I can really say without going into too much detail about these. But I think overall I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Then I was also reading at the same time 20th Century Ghost by Joe Hill. These ones were creepy in the sense that some of these things could be real. And I think I gave this a 4 out of 5. The last one dragged a bit, but yeah, I'd say it's creepy to the point where things could be real. Then, Booktubers Ready Buddies group on Goodreads was reading this, and I didn't have to. I picked it up real quick, and it was The Wasp Factory by Ian Banks. Yet again, creepy because it could be real. I struggled over giving this either a 4 or a 2 because it did creep me out, it did its job as far as a book, but I ended up giving it, I think, a 2 because I felt there was parts missing. There's animal torture in it, and I'm not for that. In fact, I almost DNF'd this, and it would have been the second DNF book I've ever done. But I'm the type of person that I cannot not finish a book. Like, I have to finish a book just to see if it gets either better or for closure to finish. I have to know what happens at the end. So I powered through it and I read it. And if you really want to be creeped out, do it. But I found it lacking in the sense that there were holes in the story. Like, they didn't really explain certain things. So that's why I ended up giving it a 2. But yeah, definitely creepy book. Then after that, I really needed something light. So I picked up and read Midsummer Night's Scream by R.L. Stine. This one's about a bunch of kids who are remaking a movie that was originally shot in the 60s. And the book starts out with the group of kids watching the original movie because it was all caught on tape. The 3 deaths were caught on tape. And you don't know they're watching the movie until after that chapter, which is the first chapter, so I'm not giving anything away. So one of the girls, it's her father, that is remaking the movie because they need to bring more money into the company. The company's going to fail if this movie bombs. And I think that's about it. I don't want to give anything away. It's a good book. I read it really quickly. Like, the chapters are short. It's R.L. Stine. It's quick. It's easy. And it's easy. He's easy to read. And then I finished City of Glass. And so far, this is my favorite book of the series. I think I gave it a 4 or maybe a 5. I loved it. I need to own these books. I really do. They're so good. And of course, you know, gotta love Magnus Bane. I think he's my favorite character in the series so far. He's a bisexual man who likes glitter. It's a really good, gripping story, and it's a page turner, definitely. So on to the current reads. Right now, my son and I are finishing up A Treasury of Spooky Stories, and he's 9 years old. These are maybe a little bit older for him. I mean, the cover looks like they could be for him, but some of the later stories are kind of over his head, if you know what I mean. But we only have a couple pages left, so we're just going to finish them. He's liking them, but he's not really understanding them. He's just, I think, listening to them to hear me read him a story. And then we're also reading, like I said, he's on a Goosebumps kick, The Ghost Next Door by R.L. Stine. And we just started this last night. And it's about a girl who lives beside an empty house, and she goes outside and meets up with a kid that says he's living next door, and she looks over and finds that the house is still dark and empty. That's all. Me, I am currently still reading Nosferatu by Joe Hill. It's a really good book. I need to own this book too. It's about a girl who can find things and a guy who likes to kidnap kids and bring them to Christmastown. Yeah. The only downfall I'm finding about this so far is there are a couple of points in the story where he's kind of not telling enough. He's missing a couple of things. Like you go from one, not time period, but one part in the girl's life, and then the next time you come back to her, it's 3 years later, and a bunch of stuff has happened in between, and you haven't really found out what happened yet. So I'm hoping that things get filled in later on, but not so far. Other than that, it's a really good book. I wouldn't say creepy in the sense that it could happen, but still a page turner. I'm really starting to like Joe Hill and his style of writing, though. And I mean, the son of Stephen King. Yeah, I know just because it's his son doesn't mean he can write like him, but he can. He really can. So next on to the to-be-read pile for Friday Reads. Once my son and I finish that Goosebumps book, I'm going to be, I think he wants this one next, A Shocker on Shock Street by R.L. Stine, Goosebumps. He really loves them. And if this means that he's going to get into books, I'm going to read them. I never read the Goosebumps because I was in my 20s when these came out. Even though I still read Fear Street in my 20s, I think these were a little bit too young for me. I like them now, but they're a little too easy for me. So, based on all my horror reading for Halloween, I'm going to be, picking up some light stuff, although this one's not so much light. But I just got it, and I've heard some great things about it, and it's A Madness So Discreet by Mindy McGinnis. All I know is it's a girl that goes to an insane asylum. That's about it, and I don't really want to know any more. I want to go in this blind. So, my pile is getting too high here. Then, I might pick this one up because I wanted to read this for October, but I don't think I'm going to have any time, with tomorrow being Halloween and then Sunday being my birthday, and it's the 40th birthday. I don't know how much time I'm going to get. but it's The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black. I forget what this one's about. I don't know if it's about zombies or vampires. Not sure. I know it's a good book, though. Then after that, definitely, if I have time during the week, I'm going to have some light reading. And I got this in my owl crate for September, and it's Dumpling by Julie Murphy. It's about a plus-size girl who throws caution to the wind and goes into a beauty contest wearing a bikini. I think it should be good. I also will be, for myself, my daughter thinks this was a good book, and it's James Patterson, so I want to check out his middle school stuff, and that's Middle School, the Worst Years of My Life. And it's one of those, like, day reads with, I didn't pick a good fit, illustrations. And I like James Patterson. I've just gotten away from his writing lately, and I need to get back to it. And I need some romance in my life. Well, I have it with my husband, but I need some reading romance. So I might pick up The Things She Says by Kat Cantrell. Don't know anything about it. My mom buys them, reads them, gives them to me, so I have like 300 of these to read. These are like a day reads. So that is my weekly wrap-up and Friday TBR. Friday reads, weekly wrap-up, and yeah. As you know, I might, or not, I don't do monthly wrap-ups because I read too much in the month, so that's why I do the weekly wrap-ups with my Friday reads, but I will be doing a November TBR. I like to grab a whole bunch of books from the library or read from my shelves, and I get so many that I have to end up renewing them all the time, but I like having a lot of variety, so whatever I'm in the mood for, that's what I read. So I'll be doing a November TBR soon. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and tell me what you're reading for this week. And I hope to see you in the next video.